Welcome to Local Ag. I'm your host, Melody Divers, a member of the Bedford County Economic Development Agriculture Advisory Board. I'm joined today with our guest, Jenny Luedtke. Welcome. She's here with Fables and Feathers Winery, and we're looking forward to hearing about your Goodview Winery. But first, I'm going to take a moment. We've been doing these podcasts for a few months, and I thought it'd be a good time to share with you why we're here each month talking about local ag here in Bedford County. So the podcast that we're doing was a vision of our Ag PR committee, and we were looking for a way to connect our non-ag community with the ag community. And through the generosity of Woody with Media Squatch, we were able to bring this idea to life. So thank you, Woody and team. So just a little background on the Bedford County Ag Advisory Board. It was established in 2007. Its mission is to develop and implement a continuing plan to sustain and enhance Bedford's rural economy, including support for farms, dairies, cattle operations, and other industries. In the forming years of the Ag Board, the newly formed board determined that the focus of the Ag Advisory Board should be on the economic development. To quote the website from the Bedford County Office of Economic Development, farming needs to be profitable to be sustainable. Today, our board is made up of members from each Bedford County district. We have at-large members and representatives from our Extension Office and the Economic Development Office. Our board meets each month, the first Wednesday of the month, at the Extension Office on County Farm Road in Bedford. The meeting times and minutes are always available online under the Ag Board tab on the Economic Development website. Also, meetings are open to the public, so if you want to join and figure out what we're talking about and learn more, you are welcome. Our county is rich with agriculture, and we're eager to connect our community with the wonders of Bedford County ag. So, talking about and bragging about Bedford County ag, this would be a great time to start our conversation with Jenny.
Hey.
Again, welcome to our podcast. We're glad you're here. I know this is a busy time. You're just talking to us about harvest. It's also Virginia Wine Month. So let's get to know somebody here in Bedford County is one of our winemakers.
Hey, thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your background, your why, and why Bedford County.
Well, I'm Jenny Luedtke. My husband, Adam, and his parents, Pam and Tom, we're all from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
You might not know this, but it's cold there. And we were, looking for a reason to leave. And we love wine. We've always gone to winery. My first date with my husband was actually to a winery.
Yeah.
I did not drink wine at the time. So I've been on the sweet wine journey where I now will drink reds and, But so we got together and we decided, we could do this. Tom was had a hobby vineyard in his backyard. And with his little bit of winemaking knowledge and the four of us working really hard, we were like, we could do this. We actually landed in Bedford kind of by accident. If you look at the map of the country, there's a small band where you can grow Cabernet Sauvignon, which is what we wanted. And so we couldn't go too far south. Definitely can't afford California.
No.
So here once we narrowed it down a little bit, we actually did look at land in like Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And the former White Rock Vineyard is where we ended up. It had the grapes that we wanted. It had the equipment that we needed. Because we were actually buying an existing vineyard, we were able to open 6 months after we bought it instead of 4 years.
Right. So it was already an established.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So our vines were planted in 2000 for the most part. We have replanted about 800 of them since we've been here. But
and have you added any new?
Not yet.
Okay.
That's the next year plan. We have plans in place to fill in some of our missing spots within the fence.
Mm-hmm. All right. I did not know all of that. So I love learning.
Learned something already.
I know. I'm really excited. So Bedford County there was no prior connection. It was really just trying to get the variety you wanted and the weather and the
really, really good luck is
and your
what I
budget.
say.
Yes. Serendipitous. Yes. So while we're chatting, why don't you go ahead and explain to the listeners what a winery is, what a vineyard is, because I'm sure you'll be saying both interchangeably or maybe uniquely throughout the interview.
That's yeah. So there's actually a pretty easy distinction. I mean, a vineyard grows the grapes and a winery makes the wine. So we are technically actually three businesses because we have a brewery as well. So that's its own separate entity. The winery is its own thing. We technically sell the grapes to the winery, even though it's all us.
Yes.
And Virginia actually classifies vineyards and wineries in 4 different ways, depending on how big your acreage is and what you grow.
And what is your acreage?
We have about 5 acres of grapes right now.
Okay.
So we're pretty small, actually.
Right. Well, I see a lot of social media, and I really like how you put like the fun things on there, but I also think it's really important how you put the varieties, and this is what harvest looks like, and this is how early we're doing this, and this is a long day, so it's not just those picturesque pictures of the sunset with
the
a glass
beautiful
of wine.
finished product.
Yeah. I personally appreciate when someone posts the journey of getting their product and all the work that goes behind it. So,
well, I mean, like I said, 10 years ago, I didn't drink wine. I couldn't have told you the difference between pressing and crushing, or, named 5 varietals of wine. And now, I mean, just it's been 4 years since we bought the winery, just about, and I have learned more than I thought that I could possibly cram into my brain about vines and wine.
But when you're excited about what you're doing, you're really invested and you're excited to learn. So it's not a duty. It's really just a joy.
And I mean, for me, my favorite part is the vineyard. Like, I love being out there, hands on the vines. Like you said, it is early. Harvest starts before the sun, and I am not a morning person, so that's rough.
Yeah.
But it's tempered by I'm so excited that we made it to harvest. So
it's kind of like the finish line.
Yep. Okay, yeah. We can do this. I got one more sunrise to see in the vineyard. And then, then the slow season.
Yes. Yes. When you farm, you secretly look forward to the after Christmas months. Even though they have their own, they can have their own
there's still chores. There's still things.
It's not easy going, but it's a different pace. Speaking about your vineyard, talk to us about the varieties that you have.
So we inherited 6 varietals out there. We have Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauv, Merlot, and Chardonnay are the 4 vinifera. They're the parent grapes, the real ones. And then we grow 2 hybrids. We also grow Traminette and Chardonnay.
And is that common around here?
Yes. Okay. So Virginia does grow a lot of hybrids. Traminette's really high up there. We do have just a little bit too much rain most seasons for what the vinifera really struggle with. And you get more per acre. They're more disease resistant.
Oh,
I mean,
awesome.
There's good perks to the hybrids. I mean, there's issues where we grow Chardonnay and people don't know what that is, so they don't order it because I don't know what that is.
That's part of educating,
right? And we, it's the hybrid of Chardonnay. It's going to taste similar and all that. But I mean, our Chardonnay grows fantastically. It's a beautiful grape, and we're actually planning on pulling out our Chardonnay. Since it does not do very well in our area. It opens earliest, so if we get a late frost, we're going to lose it all anyways, and more susceptible to mildew and all that gross stuff. It's just not worth the hassle for us.
People don't think when they have that perfect moment with a glass of wine, they don't think about all of this. So
nitty gritty vineyard.
Right. And so you are on an ag podcast. So talk to us about your practices on how you harvest, how you keep your vines in shape. Tell us anything that we need to know in the ag world.
How long do we have? Because like I said, I love the vineyard.
Yeah, give us the highlight reel.
The highlight reel. So we are very hands-on with our grapes. Since we're within the 5 acres, we don't have any of the big machines that we harvest by hand. We thin, we leaf pull, all the steps in the vineyard, except spraying for the mildews and all that. We do it all by hand, and we actually rely pretty heavily on a volunteer pool to come out and help us with that. So anybody interested, I'm always taking names.
Okay.
Any step along the way, you can come help. But,
and talk to us about that, because that was actually the next thing I wanted to talk about. On Facebook, I see, hey, if you want to help harvest, text, get up with us, get on the list.
Yeah.
So what does that look like, and what are they working for? Or is it strictly the goodness of the opportunity?
Well, so at harvest time, we do feed you breakfast.
Right.
And we have a big volunteer dinner every year. So in November, we, get everyone back together and we thank you. We are legally not allowed to give you wine.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, discounts and
Discounts
such. Come visit
could
us.
happen.
Yeah. But I mean, most people do it. They're like, we don't want anything. It's fun. It's
An
a new
experience.
experience. We're sitting at home bored, so why not come help you guys? You need it.
What is the age limit, or is it?
Nope, I've had every age. I
Okay.
mean, I had a kindergartner helping harvest this year, and if you can walk and
follow directions and
right,
be safe.
I mean, yep.
Okay.
Stay hydrated. But
Awesome.
sorry, we skipped ahead a little bit. So if you want to talk about the farm part of it, it is. I mean, it's a year-round process. We harvest just the one time. People ask that a lot. They're like, "Oh, you get like 2 crops." I'm like, "Nope, it is one and done, one per year." But our season really starts in January. We prune every winter.
Mm-hmm.
So once the vines are dormant, we go out there and we prune in 2 stages because of that late frost possibility. So we'll cut them about halfway down, and then in the spring. So this is one of the other gambles with ag, like as close to the last frost as we can, and hopefully,
but you don't know exactly when that will
you don't know when
be.
it'll be. And also sometimes the vines start opening up and you're like, well, we gotta start harvesting, but it's saying we might get a frost, or not harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
Harvest on the brain.
Yeah.
So then we final prune right around that April-ish time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to go back through, we want, you have the trunk of the vine, and we have 2 arms.
Mm-hmm.
And then about every 4 inches, we want 2 sticks coming up. But the vine will push 800.
Right.
So we got to go through and we cut down the ones we don't want. We thin it out.
And the benefit of that for people that are asking, well, if it's growing so much, why are you pruning?
If it's got too much and it's got too much fruit, all my fruit's going to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
The vine needs that energy to focus on the ones that we want. And also, the more crowded it is, the more it's going to retain moisture in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really our biggest enemy here. I mean, I don't want my grapes to get gross.
No.
We want them to have that airflow and to dry out in between.
Johnny's always like, with the peaches, he'll be like, tell the boys, he'll say, you need to pluck off some of those peaches because we don't need
too many.
A lot
and
of
then,
mediocre. We want really good ones.
Good ones. Yep, exactly.
I have learned a lot, and I think you could probably have talked even more about it, but I also want to talk about your special events, or just what can people on the enjoyment side talked about.
You don't want to come out and get your hands dirty,
and you
that's fine.
Just want to be talk to us about what something coming up, or something, whether it's a holiday, whatever it is, we want to hear about it.
Awesome. So we do different events year round, but so our big one coming up is our Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of German heritage in our family, and with October being wine month, we try to coincide our end of harvest party with Virginia Wine Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So October 19th, we've got 2 bands coming out. We get the food trucks. We get one of the bands actually wears lederhosen and throws in some of the like traditional songs. Yeah, it's a good time. The weather's actually looking really good this year, so it should be nice.
That's such a blessing when everything lines up. Yeah.
Last year it almost worked out. It rained all morning while we set up, and then stopped. So we got most of the party in. But we are, one of the big things about us is how family friendly we are. So some of our other really big events, we do an Easter egg hunt every year, and we, have hundreds and hundreds of eggs out in the vineyard, and the kids can just run through the vines. And then we always have Santa come out. Sometimes it's a little bit like, we're drinking alcohol, but parents want to go out and have a nice time too. So we cater to that vibe.
Yeah, well, I was in preparation for this. I realized that there are over 300 wineries in Virginia, and I was just curious, and I think you may have hit on it. What sets you apart? Why would people make you a destination?
The family friendly thing is definitely a big one for us. It's kind of that never ending family party vibe. Plus, we do have that brewery license, and we have wine, we have beer, we have cider. We have slushies. We get truffles. We've started doing pizzas and flatbreads.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't find something that you like here,
Mm-hmm. And plus the scenery, I'm sure
it
is
yeah, oh
just
yeah, you
very
get the
peaceful.
view right down the vines, and
Mm-hmm.
we're actually only fenced in on 3 sides, which is
Mm-hmm.
not ideal, but if you're sitting outside, you could literally walk 3 feet and you're in the vineyard, and
Wow.
you're more than welcome to walk down and look at it.
And what is your policy on your four-legged friends on?
Dogs are welcome inside, outside, leashed, well behaved, but
That's what we always say, least well-behaved
right,
dogs.
right, yep. Bring them on over if they're not going to start any trouble, but
Yeah. So
yeah.
really everyone in your family could find a spot to enjoy.
Absolutely. And we have like the playground area. So like the kids can be over there and you've got the picnic tables and all that. And if you're like, I don't really want to be where the kids are, come on inside,
Mhm.
and it's a little bit quieter. And we do live music pretty much every Friday night and Saturday afternoon from
Wow.
April through October.
Is it like a repeat of folks like
We do have some pretty steady regulars. Daniel Capel, the singing violinist, comes out pretty regularly. But musicians reach out fairly often. I'm always like, oh, if I've got an opening, I'll fit you in. Like,
absolutely. And do you do private events or
we do.
gatherings?
Our indoor space is fairly small, so every once in a while we get, I want to have a wedding, 150 people. I'm like, no,
It's not gonna work.
not here. But it's like a really great space for birthdays, retirement parties,
Like
kind of
intimate
those
settings.
low key,
Yeah.
just bridal showers. We do a lot of those.
So you have a plethora of options.
All the things you can do at the winery.
All right. So if people want to connect with you, talk to us about your social media platforms, contact information, website, anything we need to know.
Sure. So our website is fablesandfeatherswinery.com. There's S's at the end of both of those, Fables and Feathers.
Plural.
Plural. Our Facebook, Fables and Feathers Winery. We're on Instagram as well. You can always email us at info@fablesandfeatherswinery.com. Our phone number is 540-420-0916.
Yes, sometimes we don't remember our own phone numbers.
Wait, what's the area code? Oh, that is it.
We'll probably connect a link afterwards just to make it look like we're all polished.
And if you are interested in volunteering, that homepage of our website, if you scroll all the way down, there's a picture of my beautiful little daughter out there, child laboring in the vines. And then there's a form right next to it that it comes straight to me. I'm not selling information anywhere, but then
they do have to fill out a form.
Well, or you can just watch our Facebook. Sometimes you miss them.
Yeah.
If you're not.
Right.
The algorithms don't work out right. You see it 3 days later and you're like, I could have done that.
I know.
But I send out a text or an email to you specifically if you fill out my form.
That's awesome. Well, this is really a way that, folks can get really involved in the ag community. Harvesting grapes is pretty hands-on.
It is. It's a little bit sticky, but it's a lot of fun.
So if they do come and harvest with you, do they need to bring anything?
I always warn people, wear your boots. Even if it hasn't been raining, the dew out in the vines in the morning, it is so wet and nobody wants soggy feet. Gloves, if you're opposed to having really sticky fingers, whatever. I'm going to be sticky anyways, but.
And are they clipping? Or are they picking?
So we actually have a special tool that you push against the stem and it slices the stem.
And you give them a little quick.
We explain everything to you. We have a little circle meeting before we start.
Huddle up.
Tell you where to go and what we're up to.
And how many folks on a typical day would you say volunteer? What have you seen?
Most of our harvests, we get between 15 and 20.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. And so it makes it go so much faster. It takes us usually about 2 hours. So it's bright and early, but you're out of there pretty quickly.
Yeah, but like you said, you had so many people helping. It goes by quickly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good for you. And thank you for getting the community safely involved in ag. I love that. That's wonderful. I really appreciate that. And this whole interview has been very insightful and I've learned a lot. So I'm excited about that in general. So as we wrap up our edition of Local Ag, we want to make a few announcements. We have several agritourism events in our county, and here are just a few. First, Gross's Orchard is having their Apple Harvest Festival on October the 19th, and this is from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Those fried apple pies are going to be there, and they're so good. There'll be wagon rides, music, and more. Information is available on their website and their social media platforms. Also, Johnson's Orchard off of Sheep Creek Road, they have apple picking available. They even have an option for you to pick deer apples. Based on what they said on their Facebook, this is available Monday through Friday, 10 to 4:30. It's $6 for a 5-gallon bucket, but you do need to bring your own bucket. Again, you can learn more about the details on the Johnson Orchard Facebook page. Now, this is something I didn't know we had going on, and maybe you did. The Second Wind Farm. Did you know about their spooky trail? It's a trail of terror. Did you know about this?
I did not know.
I did not either. I was thinking it might be fun for my teenage sons to go with. But anyway, Second Wind Farm in Good has October weekends where they do a trail of terror. So, and it says on their Facebook page that gates open at 5, and obviously more details are there. But I thought that was a cool option for folks that will have some spooky plans for October. And then our farm, Chapel Creek Farms, we will host a fall open house on November the 2nd from 11 to 2, and this will be in Montvale. We will have beef and cider samples available, and we'll have a quaint shopping area inside our barn with local vendors. And again, we're located on Pike Road in Montvale, and details are available on our website and our social media. Now, on a more serious note, we want to continue to support and encourage the folks in Virginia and North Carolina who are still dealing with the recent hurricane devastation. So if you would like to specifically offer assistance to the farmers of Southwest Virginia, we will include information on how you can partner with our county's extension office, Farm Credit, Virginia Cattlemen's Association, and Virginia Farm Bureau on either contributing financially or donating items specific to farming, like hay, fencing materials, things of that nature. And we will have that information available when we post this podcast. So anyway, again, we're just thinking of everyone that's still dealing with the aftermath of that devastating hurricane. Jenny, thank you so much for joining us. I learned so much. I feel super smart. And thank you for sharing and what it takes to create that perfect glass of wine. So I learned
Thank
a
you
lot.
so much for having us.
Absolutely. We encourage everyone to safely celebrate the Virginia Wine Month. This is Melody Divers reminding you to be good to yourself and to be good to others.